There are thousands of people with a camera in the UK, but only a handful truly run the culture. Most tier lists are lazy, they just look at who has the most subs or who's the funniest. We're doing things differently. I've spent weeks analysing a massive data set covering 10 distinct metrics, from raw efficiency and economic power to the Nico or Milana effect, civic and social impact. This is part one of a 5-part series. We are taking 50 of the most prominent UK YouTubers and putting them through the ringer. Today we meet our first 10 competitors. We will decide which of them compete by spinning the Wheel of Fortune. The rules are simple. For every metric that has Google-able numbers, the top performer gets a 100. Everyone else is measured on a percentage scale against that leader. On the other scores, we will just give each one a score from 100. In the end, only the most well-rounded creator survives to the grand finals. First up, the king of energy. Harry Pinero isn't just a YouTuber, he's the bridge between the streets and the mainstream. Whether he's on a Sky Sports pitch or the Brit Awards red carpet, his charisma is the cultural glue of the UK scene. Cheapo, a legend of the lad culture era. He's the most relatable guy in the group, a cornerstone of the Football Challenge golden age, and a creator who has maintained a massive, dedicated audience for years. Toby, the most consistent man in the Sidemen. While others chase trends, Toby builds community. From gaming to fitness, he represents the clean-cut professional side of the UK's biggest group. Stampy, the nostalgia titan. For millions of us, Stampy was our childhood. He built a Minecraft empire with a specific storytelling style that changed the platform forever. He's a legacy heavyweight. Joe Weller, the pioneer. Before there was Prime or sold-out arenas, there was Joe Weller in his garden. He is the father of YouTube boxing and the reason the UK scene became so high stakes. Patricia Bright, the mogul. Patricia didn't just stay in the beauty niche. She pivoted into a global authority on finance and business. She's here because her economic power is a total game changer. Mr. Who's the Boss, Arun, the most subscribed tech creator in the UK. When he reviews a phone, the global market moves. He is the consumer king and a master of the high retention edit. George Clarkey, the new blood. George is the fastest growing creator on this list. He represents the new generation of viewers, high energy, high growth, and a master of the reaction meta. Stephen Bartlett, the visionary. The Diary of a CEO isn't just a podcast, it's a cultural phenomenon. Stephen has the ear of world leaders and CEOs. He's here to dominate the civic impact scores. Harry Lewis, the Maverick. He doesn't upload for months and then he drops a video that gets 20 million views in a week. Harry is the king of efficiency and raw audience power. Let's get into the data. We have 10 metrics to evaluate and we'll update our leaderboard as we go on. Our first metric is efficiency. We calculated this by taking their total views and subscribers and dividing them by the number of videos they've ever posted. This tells us who has the most impact per upload. It's the metric that separates the grinders from the icons. Coming in at the top with a perfect 100 is Row to Shore. Harry's numbers are actually terrifying. With only 652 videos, he has accumulated nearly 5 billion views. That means every time Harry hits upload, it has a bigger ripple effect than anyone else in the UK. But look at the chase pack. Mr. Who's the Boss scores a 64. While he has more subs than Harry, his higher video count, over 1,600, means his per video impact is spread thinner. Joe Weller holds a massive 42, which is incredible considering his main channel has been quiet. It shows that his legacy content is still pulling millions of efficiency points every single month. At the bottom of this specific list, we see Harry Pinero and George Clarkey. Don't be fooled. This doesn't mean they aren't good, it means they are grinders. They upload frequently, which is a different strategy. But in the world of raw concentrated power, Row to Shore is currently sitting on the throne. The leaderboard updates, W2S takes the #1 spot. Efficiency is one thing, but how many of your viewers are actually loyal fans? Metric number 2 is the loyalty score. This isn't just about raw views, it's about how many people show up for every single video. It's the metric of the superfan. Once again, W2S sets the pace with a 100. When Harry uploads, it's a national event. His per video fan density is the highest in the UK. But look at the man in second place. Joe Weller hits a massive 94. This is the Weller effect. Even when Joe pivots from boxing to music to deep dive documentaries, his core audience doesn't just watch, they follow the man, not the niche. That is elite level loyalty. In the middle of the pack, we have a fascinating tie. Mr. Who's the Boss and George Clarkey are neck and neck at 87 and 85. For Aaron, it's about trusted authority. If he says a phone is bad, his fans believe it like gospel. For George, it's new wave energy. He is currently in that high growth phase where every new viewer is becoming a subscriber. At the bottom, we see Harry Pinero. HP has massive reach, but because he does so much collaborative content on other channels, his own channel's loyalty score is spread across the entire UK scene. When we update the leaderboard, we see George Clark and Toby climbing up the chart, while HP and Chippo aren't doing so well on this metric. Patricia has also gained important points on this one. Now let's talk about retention and engagement. It's one thing to get a click, it's another to keep them watching and get them to hit that like button. This metric measures how much of the video people actually finish and how many of them are active in the comments. W2S maintains his lead with a 96, but the gap is closing. Stephen Bartlett surges into second place here with a 92. Why? Because the diary of a CEO is designed for retention. When you have guests like Simon Sinek or Jordan Peterson, people aren't clicking away after 30 seconds. They are staying for the full hour, taking notes and writing paragraphs in the comments. Stephen's retention power is a lesson in high-value storytelling, and we have to talk about Stampy at 88. This is nostalgia retention. People who grew up watching Stampy don't just watch his videos, they treat them like a warm blanket. His comment section is one of the most wholesome places on the internet, which keeps his engagement score significantly higher than trend-chasing creators. Top Jizzle also holds a strong 82, showing the power of the Sidemen completionist fans, people who won't turn off a video until the very last second. As we update the live ranking, the battle for the top spot is heating up. W2S is still in the lead, but Stephen Bartlett and Mr. Who's the Boss are beginning to climb as we move into the heavy-hitting categories like economic power and civic impact. Now we move into the boardrooms. Metric number 4 is economic power. This isn't about how much money the YouTuber has, it's about how much money they can make you spend. Who has the impact to influence the UK market? Who can launch a product and sell it out in 10 minutes? Unsurprisingly, W2S holds the lead with a 94. As a central pillar of the Sidemen, Harry is part of an economic engine that sells millions in merch, vodka and fast food. But he's not alone at the top. Mr. Who's the Boss hits a massive 92. Aaron is the ultimate buyer's guide. If he gives a phone a Best Buy rating, that product sees a global sales spike. That is direct economic gravity. Then we have Stephen Bartlett at 85. Stephen's power is different. He doesn't just sell hoodies, he sells investments. He is on Dragon's Den. He's a board member for global companies, and his podcast is a $1 billion networking platform. And let's look at Patricia Bright at 82. Patricia is the queen of the high-value audience. When she talks about luxury or finance, she is reaching people with high spending power, making her one of the most economically influential women in the country. At the bottom, we see George Clarkey. While his growth is insane, he hasn't yet built that product empire to match the heavy hitters, but the potential is there. Metric number 5 is perhaps the most important for long-term survival. Community sentiment, also known as the trust score. In a world of fake influencers, who does the public actually believe? If these creators recommended a life-changing product tomorrow, would you trust them? The winner here is Stephen Bartlett with a near-perfect 97. By being incredibly vulnerable about his own failures on his podcast, Stephen has built a fortress of trust. His audience doesn't just watch him, they rely on him for life guidance. Right behind him is Toby Jizzle at 96. Toby is widely considered the nicest man on the internet. His reputation is bulletproof, and that good guy image translates to a trust score that most creators would dream of. Then we have Patricia Bright at 92. Patricia's trust comes from her no-nonsense approach to business. She's the big sister of UK YouTube. Mr. Who's the Boss at 93 also stays high because in the world of tech, your reputation is everything. One bad paid review and you're done, but Aaron has kept it clean for over a decade. Joe Weller holds a solid 84. Even with his controversial past, his honesty about his journey has won back the public's respect. As we look at the live ranking, the W2S dominance is being challenged. For the first time, Stephen Bartlett and Mr. Who's the Boss are within striking distance of the number 1 spot as we head into the final and most prestigious categories: legacy, global footprint and cultural weight. We are entering the Hall of Fame territory. Metric number 6 is legacy. This isn't just about how long you've been on the site, it's about how much you changed it. Who was the blueprint? Who will still be cited as an inspiration in 20 years? Stampy takes a near-perfect 98 here. He didn't just play Minecraft, he built a generational foundation that defined the childhoods of millions. Close behind TBJZL at 96, survivors who bridged the gap from the bedroom vlog era to the stadium-filling era of today. But once you leave the UK, who actually carries that weight across borders? Metric 7 is global footprint. This measures international recognition and geographic reach. W2S regains his throne here with a 98. The FIFA era made Harry a worldwide household name from Brazil to Thailand. However, Mr. Who's the Boss is a massive global force at 85. As tech is a universal language, whether you're in London, New York or Mumbai, Arun's face is the gold standard for gadget reviews. This global reach is why he's a massive threat to the number 1 spot. Patricia has also done well in these past couple metrics, and Toby has almost taken over Stampy. Now we hit the high stakes categories, cultural weight and civic impact. This is what we call the Nico or Milana metric. It measures how much a creator actually changes the real world, sparks social debate or influences policy. MrBeast the Boss holds a staggering 84 in cultural weight because his reviews can literally make or break a $1 billion tech launch. He dictates the culture of consumerism. Stephen Bartlett and Stampy both have high scores in this category because of how they impacted a whole generation. For civic and social impact, our winner is Stephen Bartlett with a 90. His work on the diary of a CEO has sparked national conversations on mental health, modern labour and entrepreneurship. He has brought a level of intellectual, civic power to YouTube that was previously reserved for national broadcasters. This is where he makes up massive ground on the entertainment-focused creators who dominate in energy but play less in the world of social activism. Arun and Stephen have gotten closer to the Harry, and Clarkey has retaken their original placements after the Nico score, and civic and social scores have been added in. Finally, the raw numbers. Metric 10, subscribers. To keep it fair, the highest sub count gets a 100, and everyone else is measured as a percentage of that peak. With over 19 million subscribers, MrBeast the Boss is our 100 benchmark. W2S follows at 85, with Stephen Bartlett at 84. The race is incredibly tight as the spreadsheet calculates the final weighted averages. One creator is about to pass to the grand finals, where they would compete with the other winners. We will see our rankings. The data has been crunched. 10 metrics, 10 creators, but only one spot in the grand finals. Let's count them down from the bottom. In 10th place, it's George Clarkey with a 55.16 average score. Look at his graph, it's heavily weighted toward current loyalty and growth. He's the youngest channel here, and while his per video efficiency is low compared to Titans, his trajectory is terrifying for everyone else. Narrowly beating George is Cheapo with a 55.56 average score. He's a consistency king, but his lack of a global footprint and lower civic impact score kept him in the bottom tier today. HP takes 8th with an average score of 59.15. His radar is a specialist shape, huge scores in cultural weight and civic impact due to his mainstream presenting, but his solo channel data struggled to match the raw efficiency of the others. Patricia takes 7th with 64.43. She's our economic power specialist. Her graph spikes massively in trust and commercial value, proving she's one of the most profitable creators on this list. Toby lands in 6th, scoring 66.83. He has one of the cleanest graphs here, huge spikes in trust and legacy. He didn't have the viral efficiency of the top 3, but he is the definition of a stable, high-value creator. Opening the top 5 is the pioneer Joe Weller, having an average of 69.5. Even after all these years, his legacy and loyalty scores are so high, they dragged his average into the elite tier. He's still a powerhouse. Just missing the podium is Stampy, scoring 72.39. His legacy and trust scores are nearly 100. He is the most respected creator in the group, but his lower economic power in 2026 kept him at 4th. Now, the heavyweights. In 3rd place, Stephen Bartlett has 81.25. Stephen proved today that high-value intellectual content can compete with viral entertainment. His graph is sharp and aggressive, dominating in civic impact and trust. He is the new era of YouTube authority. In 2nd place, MrBeast the Boss with an 87.6 score, a heartbreakingly close 2nd. Aaron has the most subscribers and the biggest global footprint, but he was narrowly edged out in per video efficiency and legacy. On any other day, he wins this, but the winner of part 1 is Harry W2S with an average score of 90.35. Look at his radar graph. It's almost a perfect circle. While others specialise, Harry is elite in everything: high efficiency, massive loyalty, and a global legacy that hasn't faded in a decade. He is the most well-rounded powerhouse in the UK scene. But remember, this was just the first 10. We have 40 more creators to go.